Let's get to Luka Doncic, all right, who, of course, plays for the Lakers now after having been traded from the Dallas Mavericks. And my goodness, he was asked about his favorite women's basketball player. This is, of course, the collateral part of that is he used to play in Dallas, which is where Paige Bueckers plays now. And by the way, last I checked, her rookie game, debut game, still was not sold out as of yet, which tells you the impact or lack thereof.
Luka Doncic has spoken, and it is causing a storm in the world of women's basketball. His comments about Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers have made one thing crystal clear. There is Caitlin Clark, and then there is everyone else. In a sport where impact, influence, and presence matter more than hype, Luka's take shows that Caitlin is on an entirely different level. This comparison is not just about stats. It is about cultural significance, legacy, and how one name has taken the game to places it has never been before. We are breaking down all the quotes and separating the hype from the reality. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. You will not want to miss how this one unfolds. From the jump, the conversation is centered around impact. When the host from Black and White Sports said, "We all know who moves the needle in women's basketball," they were not just making a bold claim. They were stating a fact backed by sold-out arenas, record-breaking television ratings, and a fan base that stretches far beyond the usual WNBA crowd. Caitlin Clark has changed the way people view the women's game. She is not just a scorer or a highlight machine. She is the face of a movement. While others might be great players, Clark is a cultural phenomenon. She gets people to tune in who would never watch a women's game otherwise. And that, in today's sports landscape, is the ultimate form of validation. Her ability to draw that level of attention and respect proves why her name is always brought up first when you talk about who truly matters in this new era.
Well, my goodness, when it comes to motion, when it comes to moving the needle, we all know the one that does that in women's sports. Notice I just didn't say women's basketball. In women's sports, we know who is not only moved the needle, but one could argue moved the needle and broke the needle clean off. And that is...
When Luka Doncic was asked about his favorite women's basketball player, his reaction told you everything you needed to know. He did not hesitate, he did not stutter, and he certainly did not entertain any debate. The answer was Caitlin Clark. That type of clarity from one of the NBA's biggest stars speaks volumes. The question might have been casual, but Luka's answer revealed a deep respect for what Clark is doing. He even brushed aside Paige Bueckers' name with a casual acknowledgement, but did not dive into her game or presence. It is not that Paige is bad or irrelevant. It is just that Caitlin has transcended normal recognition. For Luka and many others, Clark is not just a great player, she is the player. Her style, her influence, and her fearless mentality have made her a standout among all others. It is rare for an NBA star to publicly give that kind of praise, and even rarer to see it delivered with that much confidence.
Let's get to Luka Doncic, all right, who, of course, plays for the Lakers now after having been traded from the Dallas Mavericks. And my goodness, he was asked about his favorite women's basketball player. This is...
One of the most telling details came from Luka's time in Dallas and how it compares to Paige Bueckers' recent debut. Despite playing in the same city where Luka built his NBA reputation, Paige's first game could not even sell out the arena. That is a glaring difference when you place it next to Caitlin Clark, who sells out venues regularly and sets new viewership records on a consistent basis. The contrast is sharp and undeniable. This is not about talent alone. It is about who generates excitement, who makes headlines, and who inspires people to buy tickets and turn on their screens. Paige Bueckers may have skills and potential, but impact is what separates stars from legends. Luka may have quietly noticed that while in Dallas, and his response today reflects that understanding. It is not personal. It is just the truth. Clark commands attention in a way very few athletes, male or female, ever have.
Who's your favorite women's basketball player?
Caitlin Clark.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Paige Bueckers?
No, she's okay. I didn't see her playing in the women's NBA, so.
She just got drafted.
#1.
Dallas.
When Mick from Mick Talks Hoops broke down how WNBA general managers view Paige Bueckers, his point was direct and grounded in what really matters: impact. While the media has done its best to promote Paige and create buzz around her potential, the GMs, the people who build franchises and understand the game inside and out, are not fooled by hype alone. They know that Paige is good, no doubt, but she simply cannot generate the type of excitement or shift in culture that Caitlin Clark has. Clark is not just putting up numbers. She is changing how women's basketball is marketed and consumed. She is turning casual fans into followers and young girls into future athletes. The GMs are seeing it firsthand. That is why they are being honest. It is not about being nice, it is about recognizing the player who is changing everything. And that player, by a long shot, is not Paige Bueckers.
Of course, the collateral part of that is he used to play in Dallas, which is where Paige Bueckers plays now. And by the way, last I checked, her rookie game, debut game, still was not sold out as of yet, which tells you the impact or lack thereof.
Mick then delivers perhaps the most powerful distinction between the two athletes. Paige is the kind of player you can insert into an existing system. She adapts, she plays her role, and she does what is asked. That is great and valuable. But Caitlin Clark is beyond that. She is the system. Her presence on the court shifts how a team plays. Offensively, everything flows through her. Defensively, opponents build their schemes around trying to stop her. That is the definition of a generational player. There is nothing wrong with being able to fill a gap. That is necessary in sports. But there is something much greater about being the centerpiece that everything else is built around. That is why Clark's legacy is forming right now, even while she is still early in her professional career. She does not just adjust to the game. She forces the game to adjust to her.
WNBA GMs have actually been talking about Paige, and thank God, like, just because you're seeing mad stuff, genuinely, you're going to be seeing mad stuff from the media, does not mean that the WNBA GMs are not being a little bit more off.
Finally, Luka Doncic's comments are not shocking to those who have been paying attention. His praise for Caitlin Clark and his quick dismissal of Paige Bueckers as merely okay reflect what most serious fans already believe. The numbers, the sales, the atmosphere, the attention, it all points to Caitlin Clark being in a league of her own. And Luka recognizing that from an NBA perspective only strengthens the argument. Paige may have her moment and might even become a strong player in the league, but right now, she is riding a wave of expectation without delivering the same proof. Clark, on the other hand, already has receipts. Fans love her. The media covers her relentlessly. And players, even those in the NBA, cannot stop talking about her. That is not by accident. It is the result of relentless consistency, clutch performances, and a flair for making the impossible look routine.
I think it makes her special. She can fill a gap, she can fill whatever gap, and that's true. And that's the one thing with Paige, is Paige will always fit in, whereas Caitlin Clark was the system. Like, I don't know, like, how great Caitlin Clark would have been if you put her on, I don't know, she's good enough that if you put her on every team, she would have been insanely good. But, like, Caitlin Clark fits out. She is the system, and I can guarantee you that Caitlin Clark...
At the end of the day, Paige Bueckers might have the media behind her, but Caitlin Clark has everything else: the records, the fans, the respect from NBA stars like Luka Doncic. This is not just about talent. It is about who commands attention, changes games, and pushes the sport forward. Paige might be the hype right now, but Caitlin is already etched into basketball history. She is a once-in-a-generation talent whose impact cannot be matched. And when someone like Luka speaks on it, you know it is not just talk, it is the truth. If you agree, drop a comment below, like the video, And make sure you subscribe to NBA Showdown for more stories that break down the real moments behind the headlines.